For the past 15 years, we have been emotionally swimming in the nebulous waters of Pisces. The planet Neptune is most at home in this sign, but as both deal with the irrational realm, it has been hard to determine what is actually happening at any given moment in time. Dreams, illusions, unity consciousness, and God complexes are all part of the Neptunian Piscean archetype. While we usually consider God to have religious overtones, for the last 5 years or so, the science has taken on the mantle of undisputed truth. We can fall in love or enthrall of anything, and in the presence of ubiquitous social media content, we may have developed relationships with people and entities that obscure who they truly are or what they really stand for. Of course, this includes so-called saviors or prophets, even if such people are only stand-ins for the real thing. Throughout this period, which began in 2011, we have become acutely aware of victimization and various therapies, while also being swamped with pharmaceuticals, also Neptunian in nature. Neptune and Pisces are notorious for encouraging escapism through addiction, and it would behoove us to get clean and sober of whatever habit or behavior that is disrupting our life force energy. The Neptune and Pisces transit, which occurs every 165 years, is a necessary period of searching for answers outside of so-called reality. During the last cycle in the late 1880s, there was a rise of spiritualism and mediumship. The impetus to find God may be honorable, but the end result may be disillusionment, particularly if we give our power away to other people or forces. Now we may be forced to face reality and realize the dream was actually a nightmare or an illusion. What is the truth about anything? What is the use of finding out? Helplessness and ennui are also emblematic of this transit, and in many cases we did need to let go and let God. But this year there have been inklings of a new, more fierce world on the horizon, and we are subliminally aware that we must grow up now and face the music and the truth, which is that God, or the divine, resides within us, as light and beauty are part of a core inner knowing. We will need to harness that power to bring into form a more grounded experience of reality and the ability to create directly from source rather than from ego or illusion. So these last few months of the year into early 2026 are times to clean up the last 15 years of disillusionment and distractions so that we have a clean slate to take action on next year. Where have you been alternatively transported or derailed in the last decade and a half regarding your view of reality? For Aries, in addressing your fears and acceptance of family karma. For Taurus, in trying to find your place in the media landscape. How do you envision the future? For Gemini, in your pursuit of professional goals. Do they feed your soul? For Cancer, in questioning your family of origin's cultural or religious imprints. What do you actually believe in? For Leo, in accruing joint finances or how to partner with others. For Virgo, in discovering why you attract certain partners and who may be your rightful mate. For Libra, in discerning a proper work-life balance. How does your mental state affect your physical health? For Scorpio, in following your muse or various love interests, has this led to transcendence or disappointment? For Sagittarius, in determining where you geographically belong. Who is your real tribe? For Capricorn, in trying to figure out how your mind works, how your childhood impacted your life and mode of thinking. For Aquarius, in attempting to discover your true talents and how to make money. For Pisces, in figuring out who you really are. What lies or misconceptions do you have about yourself? The remaining months of 2025 will feature a heavy overlay of these respective themes, and at times it can feel like anything or nothing is possible. This is when, after a period of mourning and surrender have occurred, that we can sit quietly and hear what our heart and soul are quietly proclaiming. This inner voice, if followed with integrity, will lead us to the threshold of the next grand adventure of clarity, courage, and action over the next decade. I'm Med Astrologer Patrice Kamins.